This is my first test for the YouTube channel that I'm creating called Geography of Altruism. My name is John. I have a PhD in geography. Prior to my career as an academic, I worked as a photojournalist. So for a decade, I worked with nonprofit clients and newspapers, and also major media outlets to tell stories with photography. And I fell in love with working with nonprofits as a way to get in touch with humanity and work with people who see the need and have something that drives them to affect change. And Geography of Altruism is something that's important to me and has roots that go back to 2013. When I was working as a photojournalist at the time. I was a freelance photographer. I was working for universities, and I was freelancing for like the Chicago Tribune and the Louisville Courier Journal. These had some great assignments, and I was also shooting a lot of weddings at the time, but the work was interesting, but I was looking for something else. Just the act of taking pictures for a living wasn't fulfilling me. And if you're like me, then I think you will come to understand that there's more to photography, there's more to the art than just money and taking pictures. You have to use it for a purpose, and that's what I was finding as a young photographer. So I started looking for people to connect with, and nonprofits provided something that working for a newspaper, working for a radio station, working for freelance clients that didn't offer, and that was focusing on a solution, right? They were providing a solution, whereas most media outlets are typically providing a window into a concept or a conflict or a story. Working with a nonprofit, you are creating images or documenting a process that has to do with coming up with a solution that's ultimately going to help somebody. And more often than not, people who are working in these nonprofit sectors are driven by something. They're driven by a desire, right? It's innate. It is, they see it, they feel it, they recognize it, and they want to produce something, create something that didn't exist that serves somebody. And that's really what this channel is about. This channel is about connecting people who have a desire, whether it be through photography specifically or through working with nonprofits or learning about the work that nonprofits do. Connecting people, creating a community about how altruism works, what motivates people, and what is working out there. So one of the things that I want to do with this channel is really focus on connecting people, but telling the stories of nonprofits that are succeeding in creating outcomes that others are trying to do. So they can be exemplars or templates. You can learn from them. And that is one of my great goals. And also another outcome or idea that I want to bring forward on this channel is the idea of I want to connect people who are interested in volunteering with the organizations and educate them about what is happening, what kind of nonprofits you can work with, and where are they, right? It's a geography channel, so we're looking at where people are working, what needs are being met, and what are the challenges, because I think it's through understanding the challenges that we can then become more familiar with how to develop solutions. So the Geography of Altruism encompasses all those things, and it had this root in my sort of early photojournalism days, and I wasn't being fulfilled by my assignments. They were interesting, but ultimately I needed something different. So I learned about this organization called Starfish Orphan Ministry. Starfish Orphan Ministry focuses on primarily serving orphans, hence the name, and people and children with disabilities in Latin America. I went on a trip to document a trip to El Salvador. The experience that I had working with Starfish Orphan Ministry was one that I was immediately unsettled by the visceral qualities, the connectedness. It was unlike anything I've ever experienced. The kids in El Salvador who had disabilities specifically, it stuck with me. I am launching my YouTube channel, Geography of Altruism, to build on these experiences to further connect other folks like myself who maybe aren't fulfilled with their line of work for some reason, some nagging reason, and they don't know what. And perhaps this is the opportunity that you were looking for to learn from other people who are working and solving problems on a global scale, locally, I'll say locally, but around the globe.